Thanks for joining us. Study Overseas Live, episode 1. G'day and welcome to Study Overseas Live. My name's Rob Malicki, episode number 1. Here with Tash Gahari from AIM Overseas, and it's super good to see you. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the top 20 apps for overseas study and travel. By the end of this episode, you should know what you need to pack into your mobile phone, because let's face it, when was the last time, Tash, you actually left home without your mobile phone?
On purpose? Never.
Like never.
Never.
And if you've got this thing in your pocket, like it's no different when you're overseas. This thing is going to save you a ton of time, a ton of stress, and a ton of money, assuming you've got the right apps on your phone, which is what we're diving into. This is going to be so valuable for you. We have been sending students on overseas study programs. Personally, I've been doing it for like 20 years. AIM Overseas for like a dozen years. So we've sent literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So we do know what we're talking about. This is based on the experiences of like real people, not just fluff. Tash.
Yes.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Really excited. Our first live show. We're hoping that you get so much out of it. I've been really excited about it.
Tell me about you.
Yeah, so I have done a tiny bit of travel in my time, mainly in the US. I don't know why. I love it. I just keep going back. I have a marketing background. Absolutely love it. Specialty in social media marketing. Have done a couple of conferences over in the States. It's absolutely amazing. I've learnt so much. My free time, I like going to the beach and just love playing with our office dog, Pixie.
That's awesome. We might bring it at some point.
Yeah.
And my name's Rob Malicki. I'm a study overseas guy. I just love this stuff. This is my absolute passion. And, you know, I really believe these kind of experiences are transformational and will make an enormous difference to your life, which is exactly why we've decided to do Study Overseas, to help Study Overseas Live, to help people exactly like you with your adventure, to plan it, to do it, to make the most out of it. That's what we're here for. Tash, what can people do while they're on this live stream?
Yeah, so if you're loving it, please just help us out. Like the video, ring the bell, subscribe. You can join our Facebook group, Study Overseas Live community. We've got quite a few people in there already. That's a really good community that we're getting started. So help us out, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you're watching live, leave a comment and or ask any questions and we'll get to it.
That's it. If you are here live, we will answer your questions. So anything about overseas study, it doesn't just have to do with apps, but if you've got any questions about overseas study, hit us up in the chat. Whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, hit us up and we will get through to you. Our first segment we decided for each episode, we've decided to call App of the Week, which is funny when we're doing a whole episode about apps.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd stick with it. So, you know what I think we're missing? I think like to lead this in, we need like some sort of flashy, you know, like title slide, like App of the Week.
Maybe from next week.
Maybe from next week. Stay posted. All right, let's jump into it.
Great. So now we have Travel App of the Week. So today, each week joining us will be Kayla Paradiso from AIM Overseas. So Kayla, hi.
Hi.
So talk us through what app you're going to tell us about today.
Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about Skyscanner. So it's a really, really great app for filtering through airfares. Basically, you can think of it as Google for airfares. So it'll filter through the best, kind of the cheapest flights depending on where you want to go. If the really great thing about Skyscanner as well, actually, is if you're not sure where you want to go, you have a block of time and you know you want to go on holidays, you can actually search everywhere, and it'll give you a list of the cheapest airfares and the cheapest destinations, dependent on the dates that you're available for.
That's sensational. Such a good find. Like, I use Skyscanner for everything now. I don't know how I live without it.
Yeah. Have you used it before, Kayla?
I have, yeah. So when I went to the USA, so the cool thing about Skyscanner as well, actually, is you can put in multiple destinations. So what I did was I went to San Francisco first, and then I popped in another destination to New York, and it gave me the cheapest airfare for that route.
The best Skyscanner win I had was I was looking for around the world airfare, and so I was going to go to Argentina, Paris, Hong Kong, and home. And I'd been like searching online, $4,500, and I was like, oh, it's a bit too expensive. And then through Skyscanner, out of the blue, suddenly there were like these $2,000 airfares, and I'm just like, it was amazing. So we ended up flying around the world. Sorry,
yeah. That's the really great thing with Skyscanner as well, is you can pop in to get price alerts. So you can set up a destination, and it'll send you price alerts when that destination has the cheapest fares.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us this week.
That's okay. Thanks for having me.
See you next week.
Bye.
Awesome.
Great.
Such a good app, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, just so freaking invaluable. Let's get into the guts of this. Okay, straight into it. The top apps for overseas study and travel. Let's go.
Yeah. So first, whether of your flights are going to go up or down, depending on or based on like previous data that they've collected. So you put in where you're leaving from, where you're going to, and it'll just pop up whether you should fly now or whether you should wait.
And that's so true, because often what airlines do, they'll release special fares, they'll do promotions for certain times a year. So knowing in advance when those cheapest airfares are going to come up is going to save you an absolute ton of money.
Oh yeah.
Great suggestion, Tash. And when you're traveling, it's too, like you're already overseas on an exchange or something, super valuable. Cool. Next. TripIt. TripIt's something that I've used in the past. It basically is a place for you to keep all of your itineraries in one place. So once you book your airfares, you book a like Airbnb, hotel, whatever your transport arrangements are, you can essentially like forward that by email into TripIt, and TripIt creates an entire itinerary for you. And once you have that itinerary in there, you can have it send reminders to you. It will monitor for things like changes to flights, changes to airport gates or buses or whatever it actually monitors, and will send you notifications to let you know that there have been changes. So that's an absolutely phenomenal thing to have when you're on the road, just not having to stress about all those different changes. Duolingo. Like, honestly, if you want to learn a language, Duolingo is an amazing little free app that allows you to, like, if you're an English speaker, to learn, I can't remember how many languages are in there now, but it's a huge number of languages. Yeah. I did Spanish for something like 600 or 800 straight days. And I was only, like, the lessons take you a couple of minutes. So I was doing a couple of lessons a day, 5 or 10 minutes at most. And seriously, like, after 800 straight days, spending 5 minutes, I had a lot of word recognition. So if you're going to be heading somewhere where English isn't the dominant language, even if you can get around in English, that's fine. Something like Duolingo, in the months leading up to it, if you do 5 or 10 minutes and just do it over and over, it's going to give you enough language skills to have some of that recognition, which just makes life more comfortable when you're overseas. So definitely, Duolingo is an absolute hit. AccuWeather. This is my absolute favourite travel weather app. Like, there are a million and one of these things, and I've tried a bunch of them. Particularly when you're actually in country, basically every major country will have tons of apps telling the weather. AccuWeather is the best that seems to do it all. When you open this app up, it can detect your location. It gives you like this hour by hour rain forecast, so you know if it's going to be raining in the next couple of hours. In most of the major countries, it also has radar. That is so valuable,
awesome.
so awesome. AccuWeather is an absolute hit. It also allows you to like pre-select different destinations, so you can look in advance where what the weather's going to be like where you're going. So AccuWeather, free app, amazing.
Yeah, so this one is PackPoint. So some of you most of you might not have heard of this, but really great. You might think that, you've got this, you can pack your own suitcase, but definitely worth a download and a try because it actually customizes your packing list based on what your trip is going to be like. So you can input the activities that you're going to be doing, the length of your stay, what type of trip, like business or what type of activity it's going to be, and it just basically pops out a customized packing list.
That's super cool.
Awesome.
Hey, got any questions or anything you'd like to ask? Drop them in the comments, and please share this. If you know somebody who's interested in studying overseas, share this out to them. Send them the link. Hit share right now while we're live, and they will actually get a notification that we're here, ready to help you out. Cool. What's the next one?
Yeah, so the next one is road trippers. So this...
Sorry, we're out of order. Out of order. PowerPoint fail.
Right.
Let's do this one. We'll stick to the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
XE.com is like a currency exchange app. Once again, there's a few of these. Another one that I use is called Oanda, O-A-N-D-A. Most of them have similar sorts of functionality. It basically shows you when currency is going up and down. This series of apps we're talking about are really ones that you can use in advance of your trip, so packing and determining the weather, etc. But here, like, currency this is so critical for you if you're about to transfer a ton of money. What I would strongly recommend you do with currency is don't look at a daily fluctuation because rates go up and down like crazy every day. Give yourself like a 2 or 3 month view of the trend in exchange rates. It's not about the daily up and down, it's about the trend. And if you can see that the trend is the currency is getting stronger in your favor, hold off on buying, maybe a little bit. If you can see that it's dropping, maybe that's the time for you to buy your currency now before it drops further. You will never win on currency, right? Have you ever won on currency? I don't think I've ever won on currency.
No, not here in Australia.
No. But you can minimise the damage. So definitely doing... Oh, what's this? I'm going to see. What do we got? What was that?
We've got a question from...
MG Priv. From Instagram.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for watching. So he said, what was the name of the suitcase packing app again? It's called PackPoint. PackPoint. It might also be good to add as well that we'll be putting the whole list in our Facebook group.
Yep.
As well, in the show notes of the video, and then in the Facebook group. So make sure you're in the Facebook group, Study Overseas Live Community.
Yep, perfect. Let's get back to it. Okay, so we've just looked at XE, and next.
Google Maps.
Getting around, yeah. Yeah,
so we all have Google Apps on our phone, I'm assuming. Really good while you're traveling as well. It's just really safe thing to have. What you have to make sure to do is that you... or basically you can download offline maps. Really important. If you know you're traveling to a certain place, if you know you're going to be studying in Singapore, Thailand, or wherever, download the map beforehand, have it on your phone. Just a lot safer knowing that you have that as a backup.
I find it's the most stressful thing arriving in any unknown destination is just not knowing how to get around. And particularly in these days where you've got data everywhere, you don't know how long it's going to take you to find a SIM card or get data. So download the offline map to do that on your phone in your Google app, whether it's on iOS or Android. Search for your city. And then when the city loads, you get like those sort of 3 dot buttons. You can go into the settings, and one of the options inside there is download offline map. It actually allows you to download that onto your phone so that wherever you are in that city, even if you have no internet connection, it will still geolocate you. You can still kind of find your way around, which is super valuable.
A must.
I just want to try to see if this can work. But it worked. There we go.
Woo.
Translate. Google Translate. There is a reason why Google is so freaking dominant at everything, and that's because their apps are really good. Translate just gets better and better and better all the time. You can translate between basically any major language in the world. What I love about Translate is that you can now press on a camera icon inside the app, and like if there's a street sign or a menu that you can't read, you literally, where's my phone? Put my phone here. If this was my menu, I would literally just be kind of hovering over the top of the menu, and on my phone, it translates like in real time, and you can read the menu just on your phone in the app. It's absolutely freaking mind-bending. Google Translate, bar none, the best travel app. Translation app out there. Yeah, not travel app.
I was going to say the best.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of true. Like in the past, you had to learn the language. Now you can press the microphone button on Google Translate and be like, "Bonjour, Tash, c'est super bien de faire ta connaissance et blah 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 blah," and then it will translate it, and it'll actually say, "Hi, Tash, it's really nice to meet you," etc., etc. And then you can do the same on your version of Google Translate.
That's awesome. Just really breaking down the barrier, whereas before there's just a lot of like confusion.
There we go.
Cool. So travel spend. I would recommend this to everyone, especially if you're going to be traveling on a budget. You need to download this app called Travel Spend. It works offline as well, so basically you can keep track of what you're spending daily. It spits it into categories as well, so you can see what you're spending your most money on. So keep track of how many times you're going out to dinner or how much you're spending on your weekend flights. Really good way to keep track of things. Will tell you, basically you can also put in what your total budget is, and it'll tell you how you're tracking and how much you have left. Especially for those guys who are going on really long trips or really long exchanges, or even actually short term as well. Yeah, great for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I'd absolutely say about spending money on an overseas study experience or travel in general is that, like, everyone has their own circumstances, right? Of course, and like we've all got to save up to do these kinds of trips, but you will never, ever count that cost in future. As someone who's been travel for 20 years, and sometimes I've gotten home and cried about my bank account, but you forget. Yep. All that stays in your mind are those amazing memories, and that's what you hold on to. That's what life is about. So definitely budget, definitely plan it out. But when you're there, don't hold back from doing that thing you really want to do, because you can always earn more money once you get back into like real life.
Yeah.
My little plea. Hey, if you want to see something interesting and you're watching this on YouTube, join us on Instagram next time. Hi to those people who are joining us on Instagram, because Instagram and Facebook, we're streaming live, and you actually get to see a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So we're actually live for a couple of minutes before the show launched, just talking to our audience up there. So hi to the guys on Facebook and Instagram. It's really good to see you. Okay, travel spend. What's up next? Oh, FlightAware. All right, I have a confession to make. I'm an absolute like airport and like airline crazy person. Like I love airplanes. And thanks, Dash.
Everyone knows.
FlightAware like changed my life, figuratively. It allows you to like track the planes that you're going to be flying on. So not only can you see, or like your parents can follow where your flight is flying from Australia to Singapore and onto London. Yeah. But it can also show like updates with, when planes are delayed, etc. The thing that I think is super cool is that you can like track your inbound aircraft. So before your plane arrives and everyone gets off and then you get on, you can already be tracking that plane. Okay, I've talked too much.
Awesome app.
I love the app. It tells you like gate changes and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's very, very handy.
Yeah, and I love this one. Rome to Rio. So I've actually used this a couple times. Most recent trip, I did a conference in San Diego. So I flew into LA and I was trying to figure out what was the best way to get to San Diego from LA airport.
Nice.
And I was just Googling and I came across this app. Super awesome. You just basically put in where you're going from where you want to be. It tells you, basically spits out all of your options. And along with that, it tells you how much it will be, approximately how much it will be, gives you an option to book through them, and it'll tell you how long it will take to get there as well. So you can really weigh up all of your options. So I ended up choosing to take the train.
The Amtrak.
Yeah, I did the Amtrak. Amazing, awesome option.
That's an epic train trip from what I've heard.
Yeah, awesome views. Really great, really easy as well. Made it really easy. But yeah, look, some of the other options, a lot of cheaper options was driving or taking the bus, which is definitely cheaper. But the train was quicker and best views.
And less stressful, right?
Yeah.
Rome to Rio, fantastic app. How about this one?
So, Komoot. Komoot. If you're a hiking or cycling enthusiast, definitely download this app. The good thing about it is that you can use it offline as well. So basically, it'll tell you all the most popular routes to take. Rob uses a similar
Yeah,
one
I think
for
we've got
cycling.
on the next one. So there's another one that that I use, which is called Trailforks. There might be a slide in here a little bit later on Trailforks, which is great for mountain biking, absolute winner. And of course, if you're into like fitness, running, swimming, walking, whatever, Strava, STRAVA, we'll drop it in the show notes, is by far and away like the best online community covering all sports and everything. Strava is absolutely amazing. Yeah. Next.
Cool. Uber.
How do we live without Uber?
I do not know. I don't know what I do on Friday nights when I've got home from work and I don't feel like cooking. I guess it's Uber Eats, but similar.
Similar.
Basically good option in Australia, really great option overseas as well. Cheaper than taxi at times. I'd say a lot easier, a lot more reliable as well than a taxi to get you from A to B.
And some places, Uber is nuts. Like in the States, you never wait more than a couple of minutes max for an Uber anyway.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I resisted Uber for the longest time.
I know.
Like the longest time. I just wanted to support taxis and it just, it was like just another crappy experience getting into some smelly taxi. Like with an awful, and you're just like, what am I doing to myself? This is like masochism. So
yeah.
I just went to Uber and now I'm never going back.
Yeah, well now you have the option if you're in Uber and you get a smelly driver, you can rate them and let them know. So no more smelly drivers.
No more smelly drivers. Awesome. What's Grab? Tell me about Grab.
So Grab is basically the Southeast Asian version of Uber. Basically, it's just taken over Uber over there. Works exactly the same as Uber. They do Grab similar to Uber Eats. I think it's called Grab Eats, perhaps.
Nice.
Similar, but that's what you're going to be using if you're going to Southeast Asia.
Nice one. What's this? Oh God, Wi-Fi.
Why was it?
Have you ever seen like the meme where it's like modern day worst scenarios? It's like no Wi-Fi, no battery.
Honestly, I think the worst two things when you're overseas is not having data, not having Wi-Fi, not having access to internet when you need it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely go without, but I think for safety reasons, definitely access to Wi-Fi and data very important. So basically, this app will tell you where you can get free Wi-Fi, which is really awesome. Also with that, it'll tell you the usernames and the passwords that you can use to get onto the free Wi-Fi, so no more asking, excuse me, do you mind if I use your username and password at cafes and restaurants? So all that information is in there, so super good app to have on your phone.
I'll tell you a story in a sec, but if you're watching, hit the like button, please. Like, help us out. Like, any kind of sort of support, any questions that you have, make sure you ask them. We're here for you. If you're watching this on the replay, same thing. Like, hit us up in the questions. We'll definitely get back to you with an answer. The first time I went traveling was very pre-iPhone and Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. And basically, the way that we got around was, like, can you see our like Lonely Planet collection up the back here? Maybe you can't. Let me just change the angle there. You can see like our Lonely Planets, but literally what you would do is like grab one of these Lonely Planet books, and depending on where you're going at your hostel, you'd like rip out the section where you were going, and use that. And then when you got to the next hostel, you would trade that with somebody who was, if you were going to Germany next, you would take their Germany and you would give them your France. Pre-internet, people.
Yeah, you don't have to do that anymore.
You don't have to do that anymore. At all. Which in some ways is good, and in some ways, like, I don't know, the kind of romance of doing that. It was like a really collegial atmosphere back there, like really
It's kind of nice.
backpacker. Yeah, I know. old school. Everything was better in the old days, people.
Except free Wi-Fi.
Except free Wi-Fi. How do we live without Wi-Fi? Let's talk about these ones, Tash.
Yeah, so these are basically photo sharing apps that you can use while you're on your journey. So Trover, I haven't personally used, but the good thing about it is that it does. You can look into the location that you're going, and you can see all the geotags. So you might find interesting places that you hasn't been on your radar, but you might want to go to. Also, you can use it as your own personal little photo journey as well. Tag all your photos so you can help out someone in the future who's looking to travel in those places as well. I would say my forte would be Instagram. So I was telling Rob yesterday how I use Instagram from when I'm traveling. I'm looking to go to Bali. I'll search the geotag Bali, or search the exact city that I'm going to, the island that I'm going to, and just basically scroll through cafes and I guess like other locations that are beaches that I'd like to go to. And what I actually do is I save the post and put it into one of the collections. So I save it into collections and just name it Bali trip. So when I'm over there, just go straight into my folder, whip it out, and just be like, oh yeah, I've saved this cafe, want to go there. The geotag's there, load the geotag location, and be on my way.
Off you go.
Super.
Yeah. Hey, look, Trover is one that came from. So I work for the Global Society. That's my second company that I started, and we've had students that come back and have absolutely raved about that app as well. So whether it's Instagram, Trover, or something else, that's true. Something I just wanted to kind of mention there was like the balance when you're traveling, Tash, between like living the moment and documenting.
I haven't found the balance yet.
Like I own Instagram when I'm traveling, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you know, I think people get a little bit freaking precious about this. Like you got to do what's right for you, and in the end, like if you're on Insta, Facebook, wherever you do your sharing, that's like helping you to consolidate that experience and like contextualize that experience. So don't let anyone tell you that you shouldn't be like connecting and using that thing. Like yeah, live the day, live the moment, but also like sure, document it. It actually then creates more consolidated memories in your own mind.
Yeah, and also I think just also be fearless about it. Who cares if you're vlogging? Everyone's doing it these days. You shouldn't feel scared to do it.
Yeah.
And it's something that you can look back on in the future or documented. So.
It was quite actually. That's funny you mentioned that. My very first so I've been doing vlogging for a while now, but one of the first ones that I filmed for my YouTube channel called A Life That Travels, I was at the airport with my hat on, and I was doing like a piece to camera in front of the currency exchange booth talking about how to change money. You'll find that on the Global Society's YouTube channel. And after I finished filming, this little kid, 6 years old, I reckon, came up and he like looked up and said, "Are you a vlogger?" At this stage, I'd published nothing. So I couldn't actually say anything to him. I couldn't even like tell him that like I knew the channel name. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just an old guy taking video in the airport.
Did that shoot down your confidence?
It did shoot down my confidence a little bit when the 6-year-old kind of looked sideways and went, "Oh, you haven't got 1 million subscribers." Like, fuck it, forget it.
Who cares?
Who cares? Do it for yourself. Whether it's like Instagram, video, do it for yourself and you will never lose.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's get back to our apps here. Next up, Lonely Planet.
Guides, Lonely Planet. Obviously, hard copy versions all behind us. But now everything's just been turned into an app. So all the guides, country guides, online. Really great option. It also has offline maps as well, which is cool. There's a lot packed into this. You could go through it. Basically, eateries, where to go. It gives you different phrases and different languages that would be handy to use when you're over in the country. Have a look through. There's a lot to go through in that.
Good.
Yeah, super
good. You know, and I would strongly recommend using an app like Lonely Planet. These kind of like review apps are a dime a dozen, right? Like TripAdvisor is obviously the massive mega one. And I use that shamelessly when I go traveling too. You've obviously got like Yelp in different places, which is amazing. But something like Lonely Planet is powerful. And like no endorsement here, right? Like we're not sponsored by Lonely Planet. Thank you to AIM Overseas who actually do sponsor this show. But Lonely Planet, like somebody has curated that information for you.
Mm.
They've had people walk the streets, go to the restaurants, check out the hotels, go and see the sites. That, to some extent, is quite valuable. Yeah, there's like no. Well, I mean, I guess there's always some sort of bias in there, but yeah, it's not random like TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You kind of know who's writing it. That's it. Okay. End rant. I do have a penchant for ranting from time to time, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Thanks, Dad. You're supposed to say no.
This is the platform for it, if anything.
Oh, boy.
Thumbs up if you love Rob's rants.
Thumbs up if you like Rob's rants. Very nice. Cool. What do we...
Cool. So this one is Polar Steps. So this one is a really great app to use once you come back from your travel or study experience. Really good way to immortalize all of your memories with all your photos. I think it's a free version, but basically what it does is it takes all your photos and puts it into a photo book where you can keep all your travel memories in a printed hard copy. Obviously that costs, but I guess it saves you looking back through your folders on your phone, through all the photos or folders on Facebook. Having a hard copy is just amazing, something that you can show your kids or grandkids or take home to your mum and dad or your friends.
Super good.
Awesome.
Yeah, great app.
Documenting it.
Absolutely.
This one is Countries Bean.
So addictive. Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, so this one is Countries Bean. It's basically an app where you can pinpoint the countries that you have been before. Is on iPhone and Android. Yeah, basically a good way for you to keep track of where you've been, where you haven't been.
I actually we bought one, my wife and I bought a scratch, like one that you scratch
that's
off.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. This is just like the digital version of that, which is pretty cool. That's nice. It makes you, like, if you love to travel, then that's a beautiful thing.
Mine would just be in one section of the world.
Nice. The one that we haven't put up here, but that is is really nice. Like, I love coffee, and Australia has definitely got like the best coffee in the entire world, hands down. So for me, like when I travel, finding a good brew is absolutely essential. Wouldn't you agree, Tash?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes like you can't find good coffee, and when you're traveling, it ends up a little bit like this.
Must get back to Australia.
Now we're going into our country deep dive segment. So each week we're going to be diving deep on one country. We're going to have some really good insider tips that you'll learn about this specific country. So we're really excited to have Jackie Peters joining us. So Jackie's actually helped us put together this show. So hey, Jackie.
Thanks for joining us, Jackie.
Yeah.
No
so
worries.
do you want to talk about the first country that we'll be going through this week?
Sure. So this week in the Country Deep Dive, we'll be talking about England, because it's one of the most popular places for Australians to go, whether just travelling, going to work, or studying overseas. I actually went over to England a couple of years ago during my gap year because I have a bit of family over there, and stayed there for a few weeks, and it was awesome. So beautiful.
Have you been?
I've not been, no. So this is going to be really helpful for me.
Yeah, awesome. I didn't exchange there, so I'm super keen to refresh on this. Let's do it.
To start with, we'll just go with the basics. So you'll be using pounds and pence, which is like Australian dollar and cents, but they often call pounds quid. So they'll be like, oh, it's just £1. I don't know why, but that's just it. I suppose it's like our buck or something.
Yeah, bucks, true.
Yeah. So besides that, there are quite a few supermarkets over there that are different to here. There's Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda and Waitrose. So if you're on a tight budget, then there is many options for you to go and get some food instead of eating out every night.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember being in the UK doing an exchange program, and I was blown away by the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Just so much more choice and so cheap. You could buy like cans of spaghetti for 20 pence, so it's like 50 cents. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically what I lived on for 6 months.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that sometimes.
Yeah.
The public transport system over there is really good, pretty extensive and very highly rated. There's many metros and trains and buses, including the classic red double-decker bus, which is very cheap. You just use your Oyster card, which is like our Opal card over here. And you can go not only all through England, but to other countries too, through their ferries, trains, whatever you like.
Nice.
I would just suggest steering clear of the black London taxis if you're on a tight budget, because although they're pretty iconic, they can be pretty pricey as well. Yeah.
Good tip.
A couple of places that I really enjoyed going to in London in particular. So a lot of the majority of the museums are free, which is awesome. But a few little places that I definitely go to are the Camden Markets. They're just a little bit outside of London, but they are beautiful, so awesome. I would go back in a heartbeat. There's this really cool comedy club called the Angel Comedy Club in London, and you don't buy tickets or anything. You just rock up to this little pub and stand in line and wait to go up, have a few drinks, and then at the end you just pay what you think that it was worth. And yeah, it's pretty cool. There are also a few cultural differences between Australians and Englishmen, although we are very similar in many ways. I found a couple of things quite strange, like they have little idiosyncrasies, like they'll say, oh, I'm going for a Chinese, or I'm going for a curry, instead of saying I'm going out to get takeaway. And it took a while to get the hang of that. Also, they will say, hey, you're right. And they're not asking if you're right. It's like the Australian equivalent of saying, hey, how you going? It's just they're greedy. And it was very confusing to me for a while. It took me a bit to get the hang of it as well.
I found, I mean, the British office have that really dry sense of humour. You know, when you not quite, Australians are quite self-effacing anyway, but the British are like next level as well. I found very, very dry, and sometimes you're not quite sure if people are taking the piss or not.
Yeah.
Once you kind of get to know people really well, that dry sense of humour is just absolutely awesome.
I would suggest, like, you can listen to music and TV shows, but I would also suggest looking at meme pages on Facebook, like the Archbishop of Canterbury, to just kind of get the hang of the humour so that you're not lost when you get over there.
Good tip.
Yeah. Another cultural difference is their politeness. So they're so lovely, so polite, and will apologise in every second sentence, but it is different from the Australian friendliness. So if someone doesn't smile back to you or just wants to hurry along, don't take offence. It's just the way it is. Yeah. Finally, the last thing that I actually struggled with a bit was the weather. Although we all know, like, it's rainy old England, because it's so far away from the equator, that in winter, the sun will actually rise at 8 a.m. and will set at 4 p.m. So if you're at work or you're at uni all day, you might not see the sun for a little while. And I love the sun, so that was a struggle for me.
Yeah, that's definitely a very good point. The thing that really struck me about the UK is it has so many different regions that are so varied. Like, we kind of think about English culture and maybe we think about blandness or meat pies or like boring food and stuff like that. But when you travel around the country, it is so diverse, you know, between the different regions of England, and then if you go to other parts of the UK, Scotland, Wales, absolutely phenomenal, the diversity of landscapes and culture and accents. Very confusing accents.
It's not like that in Australia, but you will travel like 2 hours, if that, and it will be completely different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's all for today, guys. I'll hand it back over to Rob and Tash. See you next time.
Thanks, Jackie. We'll see you next week.
Awesome. So much fun doing the deep dives, and what we're going to do with that over the coming weeks is like go through some of the big countries that people head to and talk about the different cultural elements and everything that Jackie was just talking about.
Yeah.
Then, very useful.
Yeah.
Great.
You're going to get a lot out of it.
I think we're done, aren't we, Tash? It's been amazing.
Yeah, 20. We gave you guys 20 apps to go through. We'll also be putting a summary in the show notes of all of these travel apps, so you can pick out which ones you'd like to download. We would recommend all of them, keeping them all in a folder on your phone.
And hit us up in the Facebook group. So join the Study Overseas Live Facebook group if you'd like to chat, participate with your peers. That is there for you.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, either on the replay or live, please subscribe. Please ring the bell. When you do that, firstly, it helps us out. It helps us to continue to make this content for you because we are at your service. And it also means that you'll get a notification next time we're going live. Next week's topic's actually a cracker. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to wait and see.
I might add as well, if you do have a favourite travel app that you use that we haven't talked about today, pop it in the group, join the group, Study Overseas Live community, and let us know because we would love to know, and our community would love to know as well.
So remember, this is Study Overseas Live. This is the show for students interested in studying overseas. Even if you're only just looking into it for the first time or if you're preparing for it, we're here to serve you guys. Thank you so much for joining us for episode number 1, and we will see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Tash, great to chat.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
It's been fun.
Have a great day.